Good morning, dear students. I hope you are fine. We have arranged this training in spoken English as a result of demand from not only our students but also from the industry. In our discussion with various representatives of the industry, we have came to know that our students cannot perform very well in their presentation or in the interviews. And this is the fact that irrespective of the formal education that they receive, the students are quite unable to express themselves in the English language. After long speculation, we have observed, we have come to the conclusion that speaking in English has various influences. The most particular influence is that of the surrounding. During the classroom, there is only one type of communication, and that is a monologic communication. Only the teacher speaks and students listen, and that's why students cannot express themselves irrespective of this formal education in English from the beginning, from their school level. There are some basic concepts of learning a language. There are 4 basic concepts of learning a language, but I should narrow this down to only 2 basic skills of learning a language, any language, and these are listening and speaking. You might have observed that when you were a child, you learnt a language without having or without getting any kind of formal education of that language. Your mother tongue you can speak fluently without knowing the grammar of that language, and that is even some of the illiterate people, they can also communicate themselves in their mother tongue. Why? This happens only because there is a two-way process. The two-way process involves, number 1, listening, and second, speaking. A child not just listens, but he also tries to speak, and that's why he communicates, he expresses himself very fluently in his mother tongue or the language that he hears, that he is surrounded by. As a student, we have got the formal education in English, but at the same time there is a very great flaw of this system, that students don't express themselves in English. They just listen. There is only intake, and there is only input, output is not there. Students just listen and listen. They do not express themselves. If they express themselves, they could easily speak any language. If you were born in Karnataka, you could have spoken Kannada language quite fluently. If you were born in Bengal, then you could have spoken the Bengali language very fluently. And if you had born in England, you could have spoken the English language fluently. So the basic platform of learning any language is listening and speaking that language, and not just listening that language. Writing and reading, these are the 2 skills which are not quite important for speaking a language. That may improve your English, that may improve your language, but these are not essential. If these were essential, any illiterate person could not have spoken any language. So understanding this basic criteria of listening and speaking, we have attempted to create an atmosphere for the students so that students could speak fluently in English. For that sake, there are some planned or scheduled training that we have organized in these 30 hours training course. This is called a training. This is not a course. This is not a workshop. This is a training. Why it is called training? In a training, we learn some skills. We learn some knowledge, first-hand knowledge. We get the first-hand knowledge by undergoing a kind of activity. And this same is applied here. And why it is called an advanced training? An advanced training means it assumes, the training assumes that, the course assumes that you are having the basic and elementary knowledge of the subject, that is English here. That means you have the very good knowledge, very sound knowledge of grammar, or you have the good knowledge of vocabulary. Even if you don't have the knowledge of grammar or vocabulary, if you concentrate yourself on listening and speaking, ultimately you will happen to learn the things step by step, and you can speak that in a very fluent way. So you have to practice, and you have to do this again and again. First and very important aspect of this training is that this is the completely self-disciplined activity, a self-disciplined training. By self-discipline, I say that there is nobody to monitor on your activities. There is nobody to compel you to do that activity. The activities or any video, the links of the videos or the PDF format, it will be shared with you in the Google Classroom on particular time, and you have to attempt that, you have to listen to that, you have to listen it attentively, you have to read it attentively, and then you have to perform the task that has been assigned to you. So there is nobody to monitor you. That's why it is a self-disciplinary mode of training. You will be shared with some videos, basic videos, in which we can hear the various aspects of language in a very daily communicative way. There are some short videos of 5 minutes, 4 minutes or 6 minutes of BBC Learning, BBC English, BBC Learning, that is British Broadcasting Corporation. And that company, British Broadcasting Company, that has developed some small videos of communication wherein you will come across some doses of daily English in the form of vocabulary, in the form of grammar, in the form of a situation, and you have to listen to that, you have to read it, and ultimately you have to speak it along with the person, or you have to repeat that video, you have to speak it out. So there will be kind of fluency developed in you after completion of this training. There will be some situation based activities such as your interviews, your performance in the presentation, or the topics for the presentation. So you have to complete these activities on the time, because videos and materials will be shared in a particular time, and you have to complete that in that particular time. Daily we are going to undertake a test, very short test on what you have learned today. So I hope you will do this task, you will do this self-disciplinary activity, so that you could improve yourself in presentations and interviews. Thank you.